a little bit. There's microphones kind of on either side of the room, to left and right in the aisles. But I'm going to get things started off real quick. How you been? How's the show been so far?
I've been good. Dallas, you guys are fantastic. I gotta tell you, I've been in a lot of places in my life. You guys are great, man. Dallas is last year. I was here. This was a last-minute kind of replacement, and unfortunately, Katie couldn't be here, and I'm replacing her. And you guys are. Last year was great, and now you guys are just fantastic. You know, a lot of times, what I do is, my son can't be here, my 5-year-old boy. I don't know if some people know this, some people don't. But a lot of times I'll do my little Q&As or my panels, and I'll have my son FaceTime. So he's celebrating Valentine's Day as well. He has little Valentine's Day presents. And DJ, anytime you're ready to come on, I'll let everybody see you. I'll put you right there. Anyway. So don't mind us, I'm just having a daddy moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, on Arrow lately, you know, when the show got started, it was pretty real.
Just say hi, DJ. Everybody saying hi, boy. Say hi. Say hi. Oh. He said hi. Okay, great. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So when Arrow got started, it was pretty.
Arrow, yes, that's Arrow. Yes.
Pretty gritty, you know, pretty, very real, very much a, it's a show about a guy with a bunch of fancy toys who's going out fighting crime.
Yeah.
Lately, especially with the Flash and everything, things have got a lot more supernatural. How do you feel about that, and how does Diggle feel about the way that his world has been changing?
Well, Diggle doesn't like that stuff. Diggle is a nuts and bolts kind of guy. You know, he's military, he's very, very black and white. And dealing with a world where you have people that can run at sublight speeds and fly, it's just not, you know, actually we're going to get into some of that too, because Diggle and Lila go to Central City to chase King Shark in an upcoming episode of Flash. So it's kind of a mini crossover, because it'll just be me and my wife. And so Diggle doesn't deal very well with that. I personally, I love it. I would love, you know, I don't know what Steven feels about it, but I would love to do like half a dozen crossovers per season. I mean, just as a fan, I love that stuff. I would love if the crossover was Supergirl and Legends and just that whole universe is popping back and forth. Right?
Are you a big comic book fan outside of
I'm a big comic book geek. You know, when I was coming up though, I was more into Marvel. I was, you know, Moon Knight, was like my favorite character. And so I really like the whole Uncanny X-Men, you know, the whole Outcast thing, like a lot of kids did coming up. But as I got older, I kind of got into more the DC characters. So, you know, I was a big geek.
Very cool.
Still am.
Now, when I said on Twitter that I was going to be doing this, I got some questions sent in. One from the Black Sword on Twitter. I don't know if you're in the audience or not, but asked a question that I thought was good, so I'm just going to ask it now.
Okay.
I want to know if Diggle will let Oliver and Felicity babysit Sarah at any time in the future.
Not now. I don't think I will let Oliver babysit anybody. I mean, he kidnapped my wife, man. I don't know what's wrong with Oliver. No, Oliver's great. Oliver has a good heart. I would trust, obviously I would trust Felicity, and I would trust Oliver. But I think, yes, he will let them. If Diggle and Lila leave Sarah in the care of, by the way, you always wonder, like, Diggle and Lila are on assignment, like, where's baby Sarah? She's in the care of an Argus agent. We have Argus agents that are very well trained in taking care of toddlers. So, that's where she is. And so yeah, I would let them take care of baby Sarah. Why not? Oh, by the way, it's gonna be funny too, because next episode, it's crazy, man. TV. Our baby Sarah moved to Toronto, so now we have a different baby Sarah. Isn't it lame, right? And as if no one's gonna notice.
Everyone's gonna notice. Social media's it gonna blow up?
It's gonna blow up. Like, what happened to? And this, our baby Sarah was awesome. There was a scene. It was just an impromptu scene. Like, I think it was last episode, an episode before, and I introduced her to Andy, and I was like, "This is your Uncle Andy," and she says, "Andy."
Was that script? Was that?
No, she just did it.
She didn't.
She like upstaged everybody. I'm like, this baby's brilliant. Get her on my arm. She's upstaged.
Awesome. Well, let's start off with some fan questions.
Let's get some fan questions going on. Not all at once.
Let's start on the side.
Hi, my name is Ian, and what is your favorite thing to do besides making shows and movies?
That's an awesome question. Well, I've been a martial artist for 22 years in an art called JKD. I love doing that. It's very relaxing for me. And spending time with my boy, my family. Yeah, that's what I love doing.
What kind of things do you guys do when you're hanging out with him?
You know something? It's always, you want to say something like super cool. First of all, Disneyland, we should have stock because we're there all of the time. Like season passes, Disneyland is this thing. And besides, my son likes play areas at the mall. I mean, you want it to be something big, like, oh, he likes to skateboard, he likes to do this. He just likes to play in the play area at the mall.
It's always there.
It's always there, and it's reliable. There are always children there, so he's a creature of habit.
You gotta buy a season pass to the mall to...
No, that's not very funny. Yeah, he loves it.
Very cool. Let's get
So there you have it.
Another question over here.
Hey, first of all, hi.
Hey, man.
I was gonna say, from the first season of Ever to the second season, we're watching you, and immediately I noticed it looks like you bulked up a lot. Everyone makes a big deal. They see Steven run around, do his obstacle courses. How do you work out? What do? Do you do the same thing, or?
Steroids! No, I'm kidding. No.
Not shy.
No, they're little children here. Don't ever do that. Steroids are for losers, okay? It's true, man. Do that. They're not. Well, they're not for losers, but we do have to play stuff. Anyway, I don't, it's, you know something, in terms of what I do, there's nothing new. I mean, I know Steven does a lot of calisthenic work, a lot of, you know, just the new stuff, the CrossFit, and that's all fantastic. No problem with it. But I do the stuff that's been working for 60 years, man. It's triceps, chest, abs one day. Next day, biceps, back, traps. Next day, legs, shoulders. Next day, rest. Next day, all over again. Tradition, right?
It sounds way too hard.
Not hard at all. You know, you want to know something? It's really more consistency and rest and eating than even that. I mean, you hit it hard at the gym, but you gotta eat right, and that can be tough. Well, I'm on a 13, 14 hours schedule, you know, when we work, and that can be difficult. But you know, I mean, you're looking at the picture and you see like a six pack. We can't stay. I started to go, you know, like. We can't stay there. You know what I mean? We can't stay that ripped like all the time. So we stay close to it. And then when we know we have to take off our shirts or do a photo shoot, you know, a few days out, we'll start eating really, really good and, you know, hitting it really hard in the gym. But you know, and you have to get rested because injuries come. I have a rotator cuff injury right now. There's a herniated disc that I couldn't even walk late last year. And so the injuries just slow you down as you get older, recoveries. So it's tough. All this stuff is very, very tough. It's more consistency than it is anything else. You just have to, when you get off the regimen, get back on it. Stay on it. And if you fall off, start again. Don't ever stop. That's the big message.
And you too could be as ripped as Ramsey.
Please. Oh, please.
Let's get another question over here.
What's the best question you've ever been asked?
That was pretty good. The best question I've ever been asked. Well, regarding the show, one of the best questions is always, you know, who's the funniest on the set? That's always a great question.
Did you say me all the time?
No, it really depends, because like everyone knows this, between me, Stephen, and John, it's just we don't get any work done. John's clearly the idiot of the bunch. Clearly the idiot of the bunch. And I mean that in the best way. But he just does. I can't imagine John Barrowman at 15 or 20. I can't imagine. I mean, it would just be like, how do you work around that, right? Because he's just so much energy now, and he's 69 years old. He's not 69. He's not 69. He's not 69.
Well,
Steroids!
Maybe he'll be exactly the same at 69. Same.
I know. No, he's just so much energy. So that's probably the best question, because I always have a lot of fun with that question. Just kind of going through the antics on the set.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Right now, my favorite superhero is Diggle. Diggle for life. I don't know, man. I should have got a power ring.
When are they going to make you the Green Lantern?
That's not going to happen. Well, at least not anytime soon, because we really wasn't a box yet, do we?
Sure.
You guys have ideas? You think his son? That's a good guess. The mother of the son? Well, who can get Felicity that riled up? Felicity was like, hey, this is messed up. Felicity was very upset about who can get her that, whose death can get her that upset?
Do you know?
I just found out.
No?
I just found out. All I can tell you is going to be very, very sad.
So, something to look forward to, everybody.
Stay tuned on the next episode. You ready? Right.
So
yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's,
your favorite?
it's you know. We're all sworn secrets.
So you're sticking with Diggle as your favorite superhero?
Oh yes, that question. Yeah. My favorite superhero, Dark Phoenix. Sorry, I love that whole. Like, they didn't do her justice. Like, Jean Grey's Dark Phoenix in the comic book was wicked. And I love that whole saga. You know what I mean? And I would love for that to happen. You know, that what happened, the scope of that story. Everyone knows, like, the Hellfire Club and how they seduced Jean Grey and how Dark Phoenix came to be. That was always something I was very interested in. Just seeing that come to life. I don't know if that makes her my favorite. Maybe that just makes her one of the most interested in. I guess the answer to that would be, I don't know, who's my favorite? Batman. Jesus Christ. Batman. Okay, Batman's my favorite superhero. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Next question.
How long do we see John still on the show, and do you have any projects in the works right now?
How long will we see John on the show? My character? How much longer, you're asking? Was that the question? That's a great question, isn't it? Well, I mean, he'll be there. You know, when people die on Arrow, they don't really.
Robbie Amell showed up on Flash and Arrow like 5, 6
Exactly. I mean, the Lazarus pit is gone, but when you have someone that can change time and space like the Flash and Supergirl, then things can happen. But how much longer? I can't really tell you that, because I just can't tell you that. But the other part of the question was, what was the other part? No, you know something? There's another show I do, a great show called Blue Bloods. That's the other show I do. Great show, great show, great family show. This show, anybody can watch. And because I don't let my 5-year-old watch Arrow. It's dark and sometimes it can be a little violent. But Blue Bloods is just a wonderful show about this family of cops, generational police officers in New York. And it's just a great family show. I think it's in its 6th season. Get to play the mayor of New York, and that was great. Fun show.
Awesome. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah, what I love about your character in the show is when you can take the Arrow aside and have kind of a man-to-man conversation and try to talk sense into him, try to talk him out of this crazy plan that he has. And I was just wondering where that came from. Did that come from the writers? Was that your idea to kind of be a mentor and talk sense to him when he comes up with this crazy idea?
Yeah, I mean, but it's interesting you asked that. That was always a writer's idea, but we have been talking recently about, working that same beat, right? Because it's like, you can only tell Oliver the same thing so many times. And he not take your advice. Like, how many times, right? Oliver, don't do that, and he does it anyway, right? So that's kind of like, we kind of hit that beat a lot, and honestly, we were just talking about, just in terms of how Diggle facilitates that piece of Oliver. And we have to start kind of investigating some other parts of that relationship, which is going to come out the remaining part of the season. And so yeah, the answer to your question is that was always a writer. He was always going to be a mentor. Always kind of where you would imagine Oliver being like 5 years from now, right? Diggle doesn't have a problem being a vigilante and a father and a husband, and he's reconciled his demons in terms of his Afghanistan experience. And Oliver's still going through that. How can I be, a husband, Felicity, if they, got married and he just proposed. How can I still be a vigilante? How can I suppress my dark urges? All that stuff Oliver is still working out. And so yeah, Diggle's trajectory has always been to help Oliver become a better superhero. But some of that stuff we have to evolve because some of those beats kind of get hit a lot. So we're still working on it. Yeah.
So the takeaway is that Ollie should shut up and listen to Dig more often.
Well, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Next question.
What is the best prank that has ever been pulled on set?
The best prank ever pulled on set. I don't know if they're pranks as much as there just is an incredible amount of juvenile behavior on set. There's never like whoopee cushions, we kind of sit down, but we work 13, 14, 15-hour days together. So it's just idiotic stuff, like fart jokes and just dumb stuff. So there really aren't any pranks. There's just stupidity. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
Go back over here.
So back at the beginning of the season,
Mm-hmm.
with the whole grave stuff, what was all the cast reaction whenever they found out someone was in a grave dead?
What was our reaction when we found out people died? Like when we read it in the script? Well, sometimes we'll know like where it's going. Like when we read that Thea died, we knew that things would be different. There was a Lazarus pit. We knew that trajectory. But for example, when we found out Suzanne Thompson, who played Thea, who played Maura Queen, that was very sad. Because we loved Suzanne. We didn't want her to go. Tommy, we found out he died. That was very sad. So our reaction is the same as yours. We grieve all of the deaths of the show. So it's it's sad anytime you got to say goodbye to a cast member. It's always sad. It's always sad.
Upcoming episode, very sad.
Well, there's some sadness coming. Obviously it's Arrow, right? So it's always, anytime somebody's happy on Arrow, just give it a week. Give it a week. Yeah. Well, that's coming too. But it's I think Arrow's always been, dark nighty. It's always been gritty and kind of painful, and You know, Flash is kind of the happy. Actually, you know what's funny? Every time I go to Flash, it's happier. Like, it's a happy set. It's just, there's more light. You know, star labs, there's light everywhere, and people, and people are actually happier. Like, not that people are sad on Arrow. It's just there's, you know, it's just so the material's heavier and it's gritty, right?
There's time to go get coffee over there.
There is, but it's not Diggle proof. I've broken. Like anytime, a lot of times you watch our show, and Diggle's kind of sitting on the table, right? He's leaning against something. That's something I've added to the character. Right? He just leans on stuff, right? Just leans on stuff. Can't do that on Flash. It's not Diggle proof. I broke 3 tables. Really? They're like, David, don't sit up. I just break things over on Flash. It's not Diggle proof yet, but they're learning. They're learning.
Maybe one day. Thanks. Next question.
Hi, nice to meet you. And I was just wondering, if Diggle was to suddenly develop a superpower, what would you want it to be?
If Diggle had a superpower, and you know, I personally like the whole running faster than, moving faster than light. I like that. I like that. But if he could develop a power, it would be Xavier's power. It would be control minds. But I wouldn't need. What's the name of the room he goes in? I wouldn't need cerebral. If I could develop a power, it would be cerebral power. Like Xavier's power was cerebral, right? Like I can control everybody's mind anytime I wanted to, across the planet.
Finally make Oliver do what he's supposed to do.
Finally. No, Diggle, I'm not going to listen to you. Yes, Diggle, I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Thanks. Next question.
The city would be cleaned in hours.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, though. I would love to see you as John Stewart as the Green Lantern. That'd be awesome. But my main question is, you were talking about how you're kind of the guiding light for Oliver on the show. Do you think that if Diggle got the chance, though, he had his scopes on Damien Dark and Michael Merlin, would he pull the trigger?
I think at this point he would. I think, you know, it's funny. First of all, a lot of times you see Diggle say, hey, Oliver, don't kill, and then he goes out there and goes, blah, blah, blah. And just like, John, you just killed 5 League of Assassins members. With the little smart gun he has now, I think the idea is that those are non-lethals. But I think we should tell that story a little better, because it does look like John is just going out there and arbitrarily blowing off heads.
I mean, he's a military man. He's got a pass.
He does. But yeah, I think now he would. You know, it's funny. Diggle plays with that a little bit in terms of the not killing thing. I think he would kill Merlin now. I think actually in the last episode he advises Oliver to kill Merlin. So yeah, I think so. I think at this point, Dark. I don't know. I think there's been much longer. I think he would rather see Dark brought to justice, be put in jail, go to Leanne, put in that artist prison maybe. This is some guesswork. I think that's what Diggle probably thinks. But Merlin, I think he will put 2 in the head of Merlin. I think. Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Next question over here.
Do you watch your own show and explain your reason of why or why not?
Yeah, that's a good question. A very good question. Sometimes I watch it, but a lot of times I watch it because you know I'm a fan of the show and I want to see what happened in that story, what the director did, the fight scene. I want to see something like that. Most of the time, I try not to, because I critique my own stuff a lot. It's just you're never good enough, at least for me, right? You know, you're always watching like, oh, why did I move like that, or why did I do that to my nose, or why did I crinkle up my face like that? And then my mother calls me, and she doesn't help. She's like, why did you crinkle up your nose like that? You look skinny. I'm working out. She's like, no. So, Mom doesn't help either. And, but yeah, I'm my biggest critic, so it's a lot of times where I don't watch it. But the times I do watch it, I want to see like a story or a fight that I know is going to be in that episode, so that's why I watch it.
Is your mom going to watch this panel and say, why did you bring up steroids at the very beginning of this thing?
No, she doesn't. No, that would require her going onto YouTube or something, but she doesn't. She doesn't do that stuff. So.
Thanks. You're over here.
Knowing that you grew up Marvel, would you ever take a role as a hero with Marvel?
Would I ever take a role with Marvel? The role I really wanted, would love to have played in the Marvel Universe with Luke Cage, but now he's being played on Showtime, on Netflix, which I'm excited to see. You know, I imagine Arrow on like Netflix or HBO or Showtime. Oh my God, that would have been awesome, right? I admire Daredevil so much because they can do that gritty stuff, like really do it. So just imagine Oliver Queen on Showtime. Ugh, like that would be wicked, right? But whatever. So for me, it was Luke Cage. That's a character I would have loved to have played, but he's being played now, so it's all good. I don't know what now. I don't know. I really do like the John Diggle character. I think it's great. I mean, he's, you know, it's a character that never existed before. Now he exists in the comics, right? And it's, when I'm done playing him, maybe somebody else can play him 15 years from now. So it's great to begin a legacy. And I don't know, maybe that legacy does connect with Jon Stewart someplace in the future. Who knows? So it's just a great character. We're making him up as he goes along. So I'm happy with Diggle right now. Yeah.
Thanks.
And the helmet's going to change too, by the way.
Did you?
Star Labs creation.
When you first saw that helmet, what did you think about it?
Well, you know, when I first saw it, it was roses being thrown. I loved it. Everybody loved it. It was like, oh, the helmet. It was great. And then there was a promo shot that was photoshopped. It wasn't hot. And you could see like the carbon fiber looked like an M a little bit. And to be honest with you, the helmet since then has kind of grown on me. I'm not mad at it as much as I was before. I kind of like it now. When I see it in action, it's kind of cool. But it needs to be streamlined, like, because I can't, even my son guy, nobody can see, nobody can really fight in the helmet, right? It's like Michael Keaton, Batman. I always like the two of those. And you can't really, so since martial arts is kind of a dance, we know this punch is coming, so we kind of, you know, but you have to turn because you can't really see because the big things here is about that much vision. So Cisco is gonna do some things with the helmet. Yeah.
Always trust Cisco.
Always trust Cisco.
Next question.
Yeah.
I just want to know how does it feel to be the guardian, you know, part of a superhero crew, and
I'm sorry.
Part of a superhero crew, and I just want to know that when we're going to see the upgrade of Diggle's costume as the guardian.
Yeah, well, he's not the Guardian. The Guardian is actually a comic book character. I think that's what you're asking. That has a shield and a gold shield and a gold helmet. And I think it's similar to the Guardian, but he's not the Guardian. He is actually an original character called Spartan. But in answer to your second part of the question, when are you going to see it? You're going to see it soon. You're going to see an improvement soon. I can't tell you exactly when. I think that might be a trick question too.
Before or after the grade.
I know, exactly. So soon, you'll see soon.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, okay. So Felicity was like telling Oliver to kill somebody who killed another person, and I was wondering if you think it's Damien Dark or Malcolm Merlin or someone else.
Do I think what?
Who do you think Felicity told Oliver to kill?
Who do I think Felicity told Oliver?
In the limo, right? Is that when it happened?
In the limo? Oh, who do I think she wants Oliver to kill? What am I do with you, man? It could be a lot of people. Obviously, Malcolm Merlin or Damien Dark are the two that are top of the list. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you.
Nice try. Next question.
I really want to too because I love giving spoilers. I want to tell you so bad. So bad. But
next question.
How do you feel like what your doppelganger will be on Earth too?
Green Lantern. I felt long and hard about last week. I'm like, not Doppelganger, better be Green Lantern. Better be John Stewart, Green Lantern. And how funny would it be? That would be funny.
You could play 2 superheroes at once, theoretically.
Yeah. I would love my Doppelganger to be, though I think in Earth 2, isn't John Diggle dead in Earth 2? Or do we know? Did I just give away something?
Yeah. No, Oliver's dead.
Oliver's dead. Okay.
Cool. Next question.
Okay, there's a lot of us that come from Smallville, and
what'd you say?
There's a lot of us that come from Smallville.
Yes.
The show.
Yeah.
And I know in the recent episode they just showed Cadmus Tech.
They show what?
The Cadmus Tech was being robbed. It was like an Easter egg.
Okay.
Are they going to expand more into that story, into the Cadmus story? As far as, you know, Supergirl, Superman, Lex Luthor?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to expand more. I can tell you this. There's been talk. There was originally talk that in terms of the whole Supergirl. I don't know the answer to that question. Is the answer to your question. But just in terms of that whole universe in general, you know, Supergirl and all that stuff. Originally, there was not going to be any type of thing going on with that. But I think there's talk now that somehow or another there might be some coexistence of that world in terms of Supergirl's world. What city are they in? They're not in Metropolis. They're in
National City. Yeah, Grant Gustin's going to Supergirl soon, so anything's possible. So who knows?
I was so trying to hold that in, but it's already out there.
Yeah, no, they've been that.
You already know.
Yeah.
You guys are so sophisticated. I know. We've gotten letters and stuff like, don't. I mean, like they've written us and called us like, please. I mean, we just found out who died, for example, and they're like, do not let this out. They showed us pages and we had to read it. It was just like, oh my God, and like, please. So, and you know something? Also, there's a mole. There is a mole. Because our pages get out some type of way or another. I mean, what you're talking about is not a mole because Grant actually let that be known. Well, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Flash will be there. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't know if that's some type of Earth 2 thing or some type of alternate universe or if it's like real time, our universe, and Supergirl exists. I don't know how they're going to do that. But we'll see.
We will see. Thanks. Another question.
If you could describe Diggle's characteristic with a dance move, what would it be?
That's Diggle. He'll be doing the robot. Very bad robot. But he'll be doing the robot. That'll be Diggle's dance move.
Very lovable robot, though.
Yeah, very lovable robot. Or he'll be doing like a side-to-side step. Kind of still surveying. Moving around.
Still very smooth.
Very smooth.
Deliberate. Thank you for that. Next question.
Anybody off of Team Arrow, who do you think would make the best fight and who do you think would win?
The best fight? The best fight would be Felicity versus Oliver.
Yeah, who would win?
Felicity. That would be the best fight. I would love to see that fight. Like, you know, like Oliver turned evil and you know, he had to like kill Felicity or something. And Felicity was like, no, Oliver, you're really good. He's like, no, I'm not. And then she had to like use her brain to overcome his brawn, and she would totally beat him.
I think you just wrote a new script for the show.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome, right? That would be kind of like, you know, she had to. I think he woke up and like, oh no, I almost killed you. She was like, no, I almost killed you.
I'm very much looking forward to this episode.
That would be cool. Actually, that sounds really cool. But that would be a cool little fight.
Thanks. And next question.
Hi, is Damien Dark or King Shark voting for you, Diggle?
Which one would be a villain for me, you're asking? Well, King Shark is who I follow to Central City, me and my wife, so that would be the most, I mean, that is an actual storyline. But the most immediate villain is clearly Damien Dark. I mean, we haven't faced anything like Damien Dark. Not that we've ever faced a 14-foot mutant shark either, but Damien Dark's magic is just something we've never seen before. So he's the most immediate threat.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, David. Thanks for your time.
Man, thank you. These are great questions.
My name is Alex, and my question is, from your outtakes, I can't remember what season, but you and Steven and the rest of the cast had a running joke, what's in the box, from 7. When you read the script about the grave, did you guys have flashbacks to that inside joke?
Yes. The what's in the box joke never gets old. It's right up there with the fart jokes. We never exhaust it. So yes, we took that opportunity to talk about who's in the box. But you know something? It was sad, man. We didn't want to joke around with that too much. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a happy thing.
What's in the box?
Oh, I don't. What's in the box? So it's not a happy thing. So we laughed and then we cried. Yeah.
Let's come back over here.
What's been your favorite season and why?
2. Season 2. This is turning out to be, I think, as well as good as season 2. But you know something? Matt Burnett was bad. I mean, he was just an awesome villain. He was funny though. I got a story.
I love stories. He has to take water for this one.
Because Manu, like Paul Blackthorne, they're method actors. So they really have to get into it, bring themselves to a certain place. Really prepare. Very serious about it. So Manu, I don't know if I ever told this story before, but there was an episode where Colton's character, Speedy, Red Arrow, he had the little Maracoo stuff in his bloodstream, right? So he was tied up in some chamber, and there are other people around, and he's tied up because Manu's trying to take his blood out of him and put it in some, I don't know if you guys remember this episode. But the way the scene works out is, Colton's tied up, and there's a balcony up there, right, that goes all the way around. I come in, and I shoot. You don't know I'm there. I shoot Manu, but no, I shoot, what's her name? I shoot Isabel, who's coming up, right? You know better than I do. And Steven comes, crashes down, he unhooks Roy, goes back into the hair. Very heroic, very heroic. Okay, so I'm trying to set it up and give you a visual of just how this looks, because Colton and I can see each other, right? And he has his eyes closed. Isabel's coming up. I shoot Isabel. When I shoot Isabel, Manu comes up and finds her dead. So this is how the scene works out. This is Colton. I come up. Bang! Shoot Isabel. Manu comes up. I'm playing Colton now. He finds Isabel. And this is what Manu does. And it's pitch quiet, it's just quiet. Bang! Walk, finds Isabel. That's Manu. Colton goes. He is trying trying so hard not to bust up. And he's like, Kamado just keeps going with it. And poor Colton, he's just like, it's the funniest thing. But Manu was great. I mean, all that stuff on set. I mean, Manu before a scene, he would run around like, oh. Action. That was Manu. Paul Blackthorne the same way. Like, Paul, it's gonna be a little profane. Just a little bit. Paul, because he curses. He'll get in the scene and he's like, if there's a scene about, he comes. There's a scene where me and Steven are walking down the street starting the scene, and their bodies, because Malcolm Merlin just killed a lot of people. So this is Paul Blackthorne before the scene. He's like, oh, fucking arrows, lethal assassin, killing people. Fuckers. And action. We have to kill these people all over there. Me and Steven are there just like, everyone's method is fantastic. Fantastic actors, Paul Blackthorne, don't get me wrong, but it's just freaking hilarious the way they prepare for it in these scenes. So the question was, which season? 2, because Manu Bennett, number 1, is just awesome to work with. I thought he was a wonderful character. His portrayal was fantastic. I don't think we've seen a villain like that. And I think maybe Damien Dark, is up there with that. And I thought the pacing of season 2 was just off the chain. I thought it was just incredible. I thought it was just a very compact, well put together. The writing was there, the fighting was just so well done. Season 4 I think can exceed that, but I think season 2 was probably the best season.
Were you nervous whenever you first found out that you were going to start filming the show and that you might mess up?
Yes, I was nervous that I might mess up. I was very excited about it. No one knew Arrow was gonna. It was hope against hope. Steven. No one really knew Steven Amell. And there are other people that people knew. Katie, people knew. Some people knew me. Some knew Paul. But really, the cast was pretty new, and people didn't really. They were really hoping. And look what it spawned. I mean, all this stuff came really after Arrow's just incredible success. So it's testament to the writing and the network really getting behind it, Warner Brothers, DC. But yes, I mean, we had nothing to lose. We didn't know. We were just going after it, and it just blew up. So I was nervous, but I really wasn't. I was about as nervous as I am about any other job. No one thought this would happen. So it was like, oh, great, another job, great.
Are you more nervous now to keep it up?
Yes. It's more, you get into a groove, but you just kind of, I don't know if it's nerves, but you just want the writing to be good. You're more critical because you want every season to be better than the season before, your performance to be better, each fight scene to be better. So it's just you want to you have to find a place to just kind of relax because you want it all to be better and better and better and better and better. So yeah. Good question.
What's up, man? Hey, in the beginning, after an epic battle or a significant loss, you guys would generally drink what used to be Russian vodka, now Tennessee whiskey. I guess my question is, what do you prefer?
Whiskey!
There you go.
That was a simple question. Simple answer.
Hey, David.
Hey.
My question is, by saying that your favorite hero is Batman, who will win a battle, the Batman or the Green Arrow?
That's a good question. I think that the Green Arrow would beat Batman, but I think Bruce Wayne would beat Oliver Queen. in the comic book, Green Arrow is the older stalwart. He's the mature dude. He's long beard. He's older than Bruce Wayne. I think that experience in the field he would win. He would get the edge, barely in the field, because he's just done it longer. I think without the utility belts, without the arrows, Bruce Wayne is younger and he's stronger, and I think that would help him with just barehanded and faster, because by virtue of his youth. So without the gear, I think Bruce would probably get an upper hand on him. But with the gear, I think Oliver would take him out.
Good question, good answer.
Yeah.
Next one.
If you were to somehow lose your acting career, would you actually take up a real job of being a bodyguard?
Probably not. Just gonna go up there and say that now. I don't know. I don't know what else I would do. When I talk to a lot of youngsters about acting, and they're like, "Oh, give us tips. What should we do about this?" And I say, "Listen, if you can do anything else as good as act, then do it. Because it's just a career that takes everything. In my opinion, I'm of that school. I know a lot of people, they act and they sing and they do a lot of things, and that's great. But my mindset is that if you're an actor, that's what you do. Period. End of story. You're an actor, so you act. So I don't know what I would do if I didn't do anything else. I mean, I would love to produce and direct, but I don't do that as well as I act. And though I may do those things, I still wouldn't feel as if I'm as gifted or as I would be as an actor. That's what I do. So I don't know what I would do if I didn't do it.
We're gonna have to start wrapping up before too terribly long, so let's maybe do a few more on each side.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I love seeing Diggle and Felicity scenes, so I wanted to know what your favorite on-set memory is.
Felicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite one would probably be, there was a nice scene, I think it was last season, where she's like, "No, you guys are superheroes, and look at Canary, and she has something in common with Oliver, and I'm just a smart girl," and then Diggle's like, "No, but you're irreplaceable. You're awesome." She's like, "Really? Like, don't you know that?" I think it's just a beautiful moment between the two of them, and that's probably my favorite scene. I love scenes where he's the big brother.
Does a good job at it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Hi, glad to have you here in Dallas.
Thank you.
So you've got Flash, you've got Arrow, you've got Hawkgirl, you've got Supergirl. Have they talked?
Hawkgirl. Hot girl, superhero. I want to see her.
Yeah. No. Have the writers or have they tossed around ideas of more Justice League cameos? Have they thought about it? Kind of.
Yeah. It's a funny thing, man. I mean, the direct answer to that would be, I'm sure they have, in terms of what they've shared with us. We know this, that every single time any character from the DC canon appears on our show, there's been a long vetting process. And it's been approved by a long string of people before they ever have written the character. And so yeah, I mean, they talk about it. I just don't know. I mean, and I think just the overall philosophy of DC is that the two worlds don't mix in terms of the film world of DC and the television world of DC. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, it's a philosophy. And so I guess, I mean, we had to kill our Deadshot. I mean, I love Michael Rowe in that character. Though his doppelganger is funny.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Flash.
But yeah, so I don't. They've talked about it, but as actors, we just don't know what's been approved and what hasn't, and so we're in many times in the dark as much as you guys are in terms of that.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Becca.
Hello.
Love you. My question is, if your character had a theme song, what would it be?
I know. Try to top the Manu story. A theme song. Any song. Diggle's theme song.
I like those songs.
That's Shaft, by the way. I think that's not Shaft. Who's the man? Shaft. That's Shaft. I have to come back to that. I will. Next one. I will come back.
Are there going to be any Suicide Squad episodes this season, or are they just canceled out because of the movie coming up?
That's a great question. And the Suicide Squad, I think, in terms of our rendition of it, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. But I think it's kind of on hold. We'll see what happens with, I think they want to see what happens with the movies. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they're going to go with it. You know, it's just funny. It's just a whole funny relationship they have over there. So I don't really know the answer to that. But my guess is that, you know, things are happening to our characters within that world of Suicide Squad on television. So I would imagine they're putting all that stuff on ice for the meantime to see what happens with the movie. Yeah.
Thanks. Hi, my name's Ace.
Hey, Ace.
Just want to let you know you're a great actor. But as far as Andy coming back, do you see him, you know, joining the Green Arrow team?
No.
Same Arrow?
I mean, no. I don't think he will join the team. But there's a lot going to go on with Andy. We barely scratched the surface of that story. I mean, there's going to be a lot packed into the next upcoming episodes of what's happening with Andy and how he affects Team Arrow and his relationship with Hyde and Damien Dark. And, I mean, the season's going to ramp up. That's what I'm like, you know, as I heard was happening, was coming, it can rival season 2 just in these last few episodes coming up for the rest of the season. And so I would say no. I would say no to that.
Thanks. Let's do the last two questions.
How long have you known Stephen Amell?
How long have I known Stephen Amell? Was that the question? Since the beginning of the show. He and I, we never knew each other before. I don't know if I knew anyone from outside. No, I didn't know anyone besides. Actually, no. Actually, I'm thinking now. Roger Cross. I knew Roger, but he wasn't a regular on the show. So I met Stephen. What's funny about that is because I remember seeing Stephen on Hung, and I remember seeing his character on Hung, and I was like, "Boy, it's a star." I remember thinking that to myself, like. I mean, not only, you know, does he has great looks, I mean, but that doesn't make him a star. He just had this presence about him. I was like, he's a star. And it was just a few months later, you know, he got the Arrow. So, no, I just met him before, and he was great. I mean, as soon as we met each other, it was just immediate connection. So it was, we're lucky, we're blessed that way, that the people on our show, everyone gets along. And you'll be surprised, these shows, some of the cast members literally hate each other. Literally hate each other. And maybe you can see some of it, but you never read through it and they look great together on screen. But we're blessed in that every single cast member gets along, and me and Stephen are no exception to that. We liked each other immediately.
Well, thanks. Let's squeeze in 2 more.
Yeah.
My name's Chloe, and I was just wondering, why did you want to be an actor?
Oh, Chloe, that's such a good question. You know something, I still love football. That's what I wanted to really do. I wanted to play football. And then I realized I could get chicks, Chloe, by acting. No, okay.
Because you can't get on football?
No, because you don't have to get hit. I was like, I don't have to get hit to get chicks, no. You know something, I think a lot of actors, this is very, very, I try to make the answer simple. It's not a simple answer. But for me, I enjoy the idea of becoming someone else. I like make-believe. I like pretending. And so that's the simple answer. And you're allowed to pretend. You know, and a lot of child actors are very good. You know, like Haley Joel Osment in Dakota when she was younger, and it was like, why are these actors so good when they're young? It's just because of their imagination. They're really in touch with their imagination, and they can make believe. They just can turn on like, oh, I'm supposed to be sad. Waterfall. You know what I mean? And then as you get older, a lot of times it's like, oh, I gotta go through this technique to put that, and suppress that, and do this.
But you wrap laps around a table.
Exactly. That's so funny. And but make believe. I just enjoy make believe. To be honest with you, that's really the quick and most accurate answer.
Thank you. Last one.
Hey.
Hi. I'm Camilo.
Hey, Camilo.
What was the very first superhero comic you ever read, and who was it?
The very first superhero comic that I ever read was X-Men. There was, I can see it in my head now, is the Uncanny X-Men are all on the cover, and it's very simple art. I don't remember what issue that was. But that's where I loved the X-Men. I was really into it. I used to think I was Wolverine like every kid did. And so I was really, really heavily into it. I don't remember what issue that was, but that was what kind of got me into it. And then from there it was just like immersed in all the Marvel stuff, man. Silver Surfer and Spider-Man, everyone was just immersed in it. So yeah, I was kind of a geek to begin with. So the song, anybody got suggestions for that? Like what would Diggle's song be? The remix. What would it be?
Just dubstep that, you know.
Gregorian Chants by Monty Bennett.
What?
Gregorian Chants by Monty Bennett.
That's fine. I don't know what it would be. I can't think of one. I'm fried. I have to come up with one.
Back in Black.
Back in Black.
Who's that?
AC/DC.
Is that an actual song?
Walk the Moon.
AC/DC.
Walk the Moon.
Walk.
I feel like we're all just shouting songs.
I know. I don't know what it'll be. I'll come up with something. Go ahead. What do you think?
Bad to the Bone. Yeah. I think we have a winner. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Guys, you've been great. Thanks so much for the questions. You've done awesome. Hope you enjoy the rest of our